welcome to Dino Storage. The purpose of this mod is to increase server performance by removing the dinos from the game world and storing them as code in a file. Now in order to do that, you're going to use this soul trapper. So it traps the dino soul into an item. Once stored, the dino will drop its inventory, no longer need to be fed, and transfer ownership to the user who releases it. It doesn't need to be fed because it gets converted into code, and it transfers ownership, so that enables you to trade with other players, or if you get raided, then the person who raided you could potentially steal your dinos. Now, it costs one crystal to kind of, give the incentive to use it, to get the actors out of the world, to reduce lag on the server. Now, it will only store the dino if it's been tamed, and it's an adult, and it's awake to use. So, what it does is that it stores the code in your save games folder located here, and it's all automatic. So right now there's no file there. So when we first use the item, it's going to create the file, and then it's going to add or remove file as we use the items. So let's go ahead, let's learn this. Let's go ahead and craft some up. We'll make 10. Okay, so we have a Triceratops here, and we have a trike saddle. We got some stuff. Okay, we'll throw this in here and we use it. The dino gets destroyed, added an item. Let's pick up our items. So we use one, we got 9 left, so we'll just take our stuff back. And as you can see, we now have a level 1 Triceratops. It says it's female, the health is 375, stamina was 150. You can rewind and check, but all of that stuff is accurate. Now, see, it created a file. So if we open this up, you'll actually see that here is our trike character blueprint. It has some other information in here. A lot of it's encrypted. The owner is survivor. I just chose that as a name or whatever, and it has a lot of these null values. That's all encrypted stuff, like the taming team ID. That's null. That's all encrypted. But that right there is the dino. So health 375, stamina 150, and oxygen 150. So, and what do you know? We have a level 1 Triceratops, and his health is 375, stamina is 150, and oxygen is 150. So it's accurate. So let's go ahead, we'll store him. And this guy, he is named Mr. Fluffy, and all of that is saved as well. So you can see we now have a level 7 Mr. Fluffy, who is a female Argentavis. And we'll go ahead, we'll store Mr. Rex. They're dropping their saddles. I'm not worried about that one. Now, that's pretty much the gist of this, but there's some other added features. Now, we have a terminal that complements tech very well. I'm just going to get a little display going on here. Okay. And let's see, let's get ceilings. Now you have A soul terminal is used to store, destroy, or transfer souls to other terminals. It will only transfer to same team unless you enable the public soul transfer through the multi-use wheel. Admins can recover dino souls when using the terminal, and what that does is it pulls directly from the file. So if you drop the item, if you lose it, decays, or something like that, an admin can recover the dino for you. It won't be lost as long as the dinosouls.save file is preserved. So, and it will only show dino data that's not in anybody's inventory. So, we'll go ahead, we'll learn that, and since I don't have the resources, I am just going to give myself a couple of them. And this guy looks really fancy, complements tech really well. Look at that, fits in here, nice and flashy. Okay, so this is the multi-use wheel. You can pick it up, you can rename it or whatever. So we'll just rename this as my first terminal. Okay, and we don't need to enable it because there's nobody here with me right now. So the other features are when you access the inventory. So if you select any item and you're an admin, you have the recover soul option. Right now, I'm holding all 3 dinos in my inventory, and therefore it's not populating it. So, but when you do a dino soul, everybody gets the option to destroy or transfer a soul. So, whenever you release a dino, it will remove the data from the file, and whenever you store a dino, it will add it. So, you can't just drop the item because then, the data still resides on the file as code. So, you have the destroy feature. So, really quick, I'm going to go back over here, and you're going to see we got a trike, and we've also got the Rex, and we have the Argent in here, right there. We got the Argent right there. So we have all 3. So if I were to destroy the trike, destroy it, this will delete the dino data and the item. Yes. And it will destroy the item, and then it is no longer, we got the Rex, and then we got the RG. So the Triceratops is no longer there. So that's kind of like how you purge the data. Now, going back to what I said about only being able to recover items that's not in an inventory. So if I were to take this Mr. Fluffy and drop him on the floor, there is a custom mesh for this stuff, so it's easy to locate. A little flashy. Okay, so the RG is no longer in our inventory. So when I pull up the recovery option, I can now find Mr. Fluffy level 7 RG. I click this, and then it gives me Mr. Fluffy level 7 RG. And it does indeed work. Now we have 2 level 7 Mr. Fluffies. Well, it's not going to duplicate the dino because it already pulled the dino data from the file. So now you're going to come up with some kind of error message. Couldn't release dino, unable to find the item's reference, server might have crashed, or yada 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 yada. So an admin could duplicate the item, but they can't duplicate the dino. So that's like the failsafe in place. So we'll just go ahead and we'll get rid of this because it's no longer valid, and I'm going to pick him up. Now, the other thing you can do with this guy is transfer souls. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to go set up another terminal. And it doesn't matter where you are. So you see that little cliff there, right there where I'm pointing. I'm going to teleport over there, and let's see, like so. And the other terminal is in stasis, so right now I'm going to just place this here, and place this here. And now if I want to take, well, let's take both of them. We'll take Mr. Rexy, transfer soul. There's my first terminal. Remember I named it that? Okay. And the item is gone. We'll send Mr. Fluffy. And then we'll just go ahead and teleport back and find our terminal. And as you can see, we have the Rex and we have Mr. Fluffy. And the references do not get lost. So, Mr. Rex and Mr. Fluffy. Now we have all the dinos out in the open, so we'll open this back up and you can see that the save file is clean. So, that is Dino Storage in a nutshell. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you guys enjoy the mod. I hope your servers are way more performant because of this mod. It's been a long time coming, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, bye.